I thought I'd come on while it's nice and early and everyone's still in bed. Hope you all had a good Christmas. I got my Daddy Dear mug, nice cup of tea, and I've come on while no one's looking to talk about the new routine which I'm going to try and implement through 2021, and it's not rocket science. Got to keep it simple for me, and but it's just about forming good habits with things you have to do, and trying to keep yourself accountable. So yeah, I'm going to go through that. So anyone who watches my channel will probably know that there are a few things that people like. Is the List 5 Live, and some of the comments I've had, people have found that very, very useful. I've just got some people coming in. Hi Derek, how you doing? Does it sound good? Yeah. This early in the morning, I can see myself forgetting things and talking into doing a stream without any sound. Hi JR and hi Lark Trading. Yeah, I had a great Christmas. Hi Rosie. We actually quite liked it because it was nice and simple, just us. So routine. So there are always a number of things you need to do as a reseller, and some of those are going to be daily. Some of those you might do, I don't know, twice a week. Some of them you might do once a week. Some of them you might do once a month. But what I'm trying to do is give structure to it. So, as you know, I always have done my List 5 Live at 11 o'clock on a Monday. And I've always said it's a good idea to sort of get up in the morning and get 5 listed, get them in the bag, because you feel better kind of like for the rest of the day. So the idea is to sort of build on that. Now, I do that, or try and do that every day. That's one thing I always sort of try and get back to. But there are other things I do at certain times. So I'm kind of like sharing a bit more of my structure. And what I like to hear through doing this is sort of how other people structure their day, how do they structure their work. So in the main, I find there are normally kind of like you can split these down into half-hour jobs, generally. Things like getting some items to list, or photographing some items, or maybe prepping some items. If they're bigger jobs, you can always split them down. So listing 5 items, to do that, you have to sort of get the item. You have to, test. You might have to test it. So a lot of the time, they're either like half-hour jobs, or you might have a big batch of time where it might be sourcing, or you're doing a quite in-depth repair. If you're changing a belt on a big stereo, that's going to take like three hours. So it's weird. It's sort of like you can have half-hour jobs and half-day jobs. So it's all about keeping the time managed and having regular-ish slots for certain jobs you do. So certain jobs that you do can be linked with other jobs. So, I sometimes give the example of like, a regular thing you do is you wake up in the morning and you have a shower every day, or you clean your teeth every day and every night. And that's 2 regular things you always do. So it doesn't do any good not doing it for a week and then doing it 10 times in a row. Derek needs something like this. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Derek, I'm going to keep it simple because I think it's better to do something simple. I never come on and do like List 50 Live. It's always like List 5 Live. Because you can add to it. If someone's watching this and says sort of like, he's only like done 5, well, by all means do 10. It is flexible. But it's all about kind of trying to get the routine rather than get the quantity. So that, okay, yeah, 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, I'm going to start listing. 3 o'clock, I'm going to start packing. So it's kind of like there are always a number of tasks to do when you're reselling, and you could probably like make a list of like a huge number, but let's say there's a dozen things you do. So it might be, yeah, you got to like spend some time sourcing, you got to spend some time prepping, you got to spend some time listing, you got to spend some time packing, you got to spend some time with doing your financials, you got to spend some time, oh, I don't know, let's say there's 10, okay? And the idea of this is kind of born from when I used to do exams. And when you do exams, not only is it quite useful to know the stuff, but knowing how to go about an exam is almost the key to passing it. So there's no point if you've got 10 questions, okay, and you've got 100 minutes to do them. So let's say 110 minutes to do them. Okay, you don't do question 1 and spend 50 minutes on it because you won't have enough time for the rest. That is not a good thing to do. What you do is you spend 10 minutes reading all of the questions, okay? But the important thing is you would spend 10 minutes on each one. And even if you are doing task number 1, question number 1, if after 10 minutes you think, oh, I'm still in the flow, I'm still like really there, you don't, because you may run out of time on like these 4 things at the end and you won't get anything for that. Okay. So what you do is you do 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. And if you're doing this one and you're like, after 5 minutes, you're like, oh, I've done all I can. Then you go, okay, well, I'll do 10 minutes, 10 minutes. You might do 5 minutes there, don't know anything about it. 10 minutes, 10 minutes. You've got 10 minutes left because you've only spent 5 minutes on those 2 things. And then you go back. So this is kind of like where it's born from. A bit of a weird connection there, but it's very easy to, if you're doing, even if you've done a planner and you've got a task for packing some things, but you started trying to repair a stereo, you can carry on working on the stereo and it goes into your time, your packing doesn't get done. So there you go. What I've kind of as a basis for this, some groundwork that I've done is that I've really tried to sort of like tidy up, because like working in a like messy area is not a good thing, and you might need to set yourself tasks to do that. And I have the way I keep all my stock. I try and keep like none of it in here. There's very little of it in here. A few bits I've got to repair, but that's about it. I have an area, it's like a holding area where I've sourced, it will go, in there. Keep things tidy. Yeah, exactly, Bailey. Keep things tidy. I'll say it's the most important thing. And what I will say, I will show you my sort of calendar in a minute, but if I do finish a task early, one of the things I'm doing as sort of like filler time is tidy up. It'll always go back to tidying up. If I, like, oh, that didn't take too long. I'm also doing this to give myself some time, really, because I don't want to be sort of like drifting off working till 2 o'clock in the morning. Waking up at 9, being efficient and being focused, and maybe finishing about 6 and turning the machine off. The thought of that is quite, enticing, really. So yeah, my specific areas for specific things, I have a kind of like dumping area where stuff goes. It is shelved, but that's where everything goes. If I'm bringing stuff into list, I'm trying to have a rule that I will only bring in like 5 things maximum, because I can tend to be like supermarket sweep. I'll go, oh yeah, I'll bring that in, I'll bring that in, I'll bring that into list, bring it up to my photograph room, put it down, don't do anything with it, and then a few days later, supermarket sweep again, getting loads of items, getting loads of boppets. So I'm going to try and keep very strict on that. And then, as I've mentioned before on the channel, when I list something, it gets. I have sort of racks. I don't know if you can see that, but they're a standard sort of racks like that, and I'll fill half the rack with a week's worth of listings. So that's how I do it, and then I revisit the week. And I'm also, this is I think very important, on my desktop on my computer, I've put my Google Calendar, and it's on my home screen on my phone, because I'm planning every day, and one of those half-hour slots I have is for planning the next day. So I'll show you my plan, and I've also got a timer. I'm working by a timer, so I've got these half-hour slots. So let me see if I can share my screen. And I actually did this for the first time yesterday, and I've got to say I'm not perfect at this, and I may fall off the wagon, but it's something I'm trying. Bear with me. Let's try and get a good. Let's do this one. You don't need to see me. So this is for yesterday. I don't know if it will be a bit small for you to see, but yeah, like I say, I kept it very simple, and I will color code this, so maybe you see the daily things in a different color, and maybe the twice weekly things, and different time slots for different things. So here, very simple, pick 5 things to list, 10 a.m. You wouldn't think that would take half an hour, but like I say, I gave myself a little bit more time than I needed. It is Tommy, it is Pete on a Sunday. I'm talking about my new routine though, so it's the new routine. And then I put in like half an hour to photograph things, half hour to list, and then relisting my old items, which is something I do on a regular basis. So all of those would be daily things I do. It's 2 hours. And like I say, you might get them done. I might get all that done in an hour, but then I'd just go, okay, well, I've got some filler time. I'll do a bit of tidying up. Then I had a bit of a look around Facebook Marketplace, with no success, by the way. And then I gave myself, 2.5 hours, 3 hours to deal with this PS3 problem I've got. I was taking one to bits, and I didn't complete it. So I've had to factor that in today. I'll show you today's plan as well. So I put an hour in for doing that standing packing, and that is, I didn't get all my packing done yesterday, but the thing is, I will be doing that every day, and it will, I have left it for a few days. I haven't got to go to the post office until the 29th, so I've got a couple of days anyway. But I want that as a regular thing. I've always said, my holy trinity has been list 5, minimum, do outstanding packing, keep tidy. So the things you will see on a daily basis on this will be those. And of course, the good thing is, I did follow this pretty much to the T. There was an area in the middle of the day where I was hunting around for a mint area that I couldn't find, but I found it eventually. And I was done by sort of like, 6:30. And today, well, here we are, film and upload. So I was actually going to film this and then upload it. But I just thought, God, it's going to take too much time. So I thought I'd do a live. And then we're back on, pick and pack photo some items. Now I know I'm going to do some clothing, so it's going to take a little bit longer. Some of the prepping on that, and list the 5 items, do my relist, and then I've got to get that PS3. So it is all about knowing your regular tasks and formulating those patterns for daily tasks. Because if I can every day, if I could list at least 5, I mean, we're talking 365 days a year there. And I might have days where there's, a bit of filler, I have a bit of time, and I might list 10, 15, 20. But there will be days where I've got a half day of sourcing. There will be days where I've got a half day of fixing. So that is the plan. And that's what I'm going to sort of like keep more of a record of on my channel. I will, obviously, I've still got a couple of sales videos that I am going to release. And I will do haul videos when there's something interesting, but I kind of want people to get into the process and share their process and see if they're finding what I'm doing helpful. And I'll be making more of those kind of regular things that you do. I'll probably be going on about it a bit too much, but yeah, let me know what you think. I'll let you go now because I've got to get on with my next job. But I hope you will find it useful. I hope it will sort of be a good kind of like thing that people can cling on to. People have clung on to the list 5. So if they can sort of, I don't know, get into the habit of packing at a regular time, so they don't have that kind of like, oh God, I've got to pack 20 items and they've all got to go tomorrow morning and it's 8 o'clock in the evening. It's to prevent that sort of thing. So yeah, Bailey, that is it. I mean, I'm guilty as anyone as doing like, what video do I do? I'll do a sales video or a haul video, and I don't mind those, to be honest. But I kind of want to be helpful with people's working lives and working habits. You might not get a lot of people watching it, but the important thing is that the people who do watch it find it useful, and that's kind of what's important to me. But anyway, I'll let you go. I'm going to finish my my cup of tea. I hope you all have a brilliant day. Someone I did ask how my sales have been. Not too bad, actually. Not the crazy heights of pre-Christmas. But yeah, I've been having like 3 or 4 things. 3 or 4 things every day, which I've got to pack. So there we go. All right, all. Have a good day, and I'll catch you later.